Alright guys, there's gonna be another tier list here, and what should we talk about today? Well, of course, it's gonna be a tier list for the after the EGCTV tournament happened. I played in it as well. Sadly, I did not win a single game, but I still made it to top 15. So the 16 from the 16 players, I made it to top 15. Yay! Top 15 player in the world. Let's go. Let's go. Top 15. Meanwhile, some people not really that much celebrating or putting their coat on the, like they're like, oh no, I'm dead. I can't play anymore. I'm old and etc. etc. Meanwhile, me, I'm top 15 on the world. I made it to top 15 just like the last time as well when I got into top 16. But anyway, so yeah, let's see the tournament. I made it to top 15, and let's see the serialization. How I seen the serialization in the tournament. So first of all, I'm gonna start with the broken civilizations. I always been Byzantine. Then there was Ottoman. Then I'm not sure about that one. Then Zushi. Zushi is insane. So Byzantine, Ottoman, Zushi. I'm thinking if there is like any other civilization I would put into S tier and say like, all right, they are broken. I don't think so. But for now, I will come back later. Byzantine is still broken. Devs haven't fixed anything. They reduced the longbow amount that you get from the mercenary house, but with that, and also made it cheaper. But with that, you can actually get more longbows out compared to the old version of the 5 longbow. So you can have, I think, two more extra longbow compared to the old one. So amazing. You can win games with Byzantine if you are just idle, you don't do anything, just go away from the keyboard, and you can still win all of your games if you play with Byzantine. Ottoman, it's just a factory, like makes units for free, and it makes even more and 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 more. Also, so when I'm talking about the tier list, or 1 versus 1 tier list right now, it's only for land maps and no water maps or no hybrid maps. We are talking about only land maps. So let's see. Is there any other civilization that I would consider broken right now? Oh, Malian. Malian is insanely strong as well. So I need to mention that. I think Malian is it's crazy. It's still crazy because of their free resource generation they have. Like Malian makes like so much resource. It's crazy. Then let's go to D tier. Well, Jin Dynasty. I think I don't even know why this civilization in the game right now. So it's like, it's like devs cook something, make the civilization better or something like that. Do we add like an F at least? Because then yeah, it's better. Okay, let me kill. So F civilization, Jin. It deserves. You know what? Jin. I'm just gonna name it Jin. Yeah, perfect. Then we have French on A. That's 100%. French is just a basic nice as well because the spearman got buffed a little bit, which means it's much easier to brace with the spearman compared to the old time. French became a little bit less good compared to what it was before, and also the spearman has more HP in Imperial, and they are faster movement speed, which is amazing. Let's see other civilizations. Japanese. I think Japanese is still not bad a civilization. People have to figure out something different, something new to play with Japanese, but I think they are still not bad. Oh, I know. Sengoku. Sengoku is still good. So Sengoku, Fast Castle Knight kind of stuff is still good. All you have to do is just protect your Yatai and Feudal a little bit. Like, let's say you make 5 horsemen plus the daimyo, and you are perfect. And after you can just make mounted samurais, and they're gonna do a lot of things. Tuklok. Tuklok, I don't think it's a very best civilization. If you are playing against aggressive civilizations, then 100% Tuklok is gonna be Pepe Den, Pepe Los, because when I played against China, so China is still S tier by the way, So when I played against China, I tried to do economical way to play against China, and my opponent did the same thing. Went multiple TC, I went multiple keeps, and I think one extra TC, and I just lost. Like China economy was insanely strong. Also the pro scout China, so people tend to pro scout still, but if they don't pro scout and they are facing multiple TC civilization, they can go multiple TC as well. The hand cannons and etc. Like there are so many tools with China, why they are so strong, right? Delhi is not a bad civilization, even though people are trying to paint the civilization horrible. It's actually giga good. I give you a really good example, May, right? So he is the prime example of a good Delhi place. I can say myself as well, but the reason why I'm not saying myself because I'm not a one trick Delhi player, right? So the best example here is actually May. I don't really know someone else who is like a one trick pony player and high on the ladder. But he's a good example because he's a one trick pony player. So I don't think Delhi is bad. There are some matchups where Delhi doesn't really shine, but yeah, but that's Delhi for you. JD, I think JD is not bad, not as good as French. I don't think the biggest problem with JD is that there is not a lot of play style. Like 2TC sucks. Not making knights is like meh, whatever. That's it. Katie, I will come back to for you later, brother. House of Lancaster. House of Lancaster is really good as well. I would not say that they are insane and broken like China, but their 2TC playstyle is one of the best 2TC civilization right now because the manor. So if you don't know manor works, if you have more villager, the better, because the more resource per minute you get for your or within your manors, which is chef kiss, 10 out of 10. So yeah, in this 2TC AFK meta, the 2TC manor style is really good with this civilization. English, I think English is really good and strong, and if you can hit the timing with English with the second TC, you survive. You have the white tower, you survive with English. Then on later of the game, the civilization becomes just S tier. But feudal castle, it's like all right, that's all right. You are amazing. But in Imperial, it's insanely strong, insanely strong. Like whatever the strong the English Imperial is. HRE, I don't think HRE is bad, but there is a lot of problem with HRE. It doesn't have the identity. Now, HRE doesn't have the best infantry units in the game, even though it's titled as an infantry civilization. Their religious buff got nerfed. So even though it's titled as a religious civilization, you know, the buff just got nerfed for no reason. What the HRE excels at? Their horseman has 2 extra damage, cavalry. Their knights can have 2 extra armor with my work, again cavalry. Their Black Riders, one of the best gunpowder unit in the game next to OOTD Gilded Handgear, again cavalry. Also, they have the best keep and the best towers in the game as well. So it's so stupid. Even though it says infantry and religious, they are not heavily relying on religion or infantry. Because the horseman has +2 damage, the knight has more armor, the Black Rider one of the best hand cannoner, gunpowder hand cannoner in the game. So it's kind of weird. But I hope in the future devs will wake up from their slumber and they will give some clear identity to HRE. Abbasid, I think Abbasid is not bad. You know what? Abbasid is really good in this AFK 2TC or 3TC meta, so they deserve him to be tier. Katie deserves him to be A tier. Katie actually counters so many civilization. It's not really strong, but the reason why I put them into A tier is because they excel against like Malian. They are good against several civilizations, not just Jin Dynasty, of course. And because of 2TC buff, the TC got cheaper a little bit. Now you can age up with 14 villagers. So before we used to age up with 15 villager. Now you can age up with 14 villager, and actually you get your TC down so much faster. I have a 2 TC guide with KT 14 villager. You can find it on my YouTube channel, so check it out if you are playing KT. And also I have another KT guide as well, where I'm talking about how to play KT. I might make more KT guides in the future. Mongols. Mongols are not a bad civilization, but if you are playing against, let's say, like Tukluk, not Tukluk, but or English or House of Lancaster or JD or Zushi, so you know there are situations where I say like, oh my god, Mongol was so good, well, especially if they are playing against Jin. But it's not horrible, not bad. Oh, I forgot. Macedonian Dynasty. The Ridaris are still crazy good. The silver, the fast. Did you, I don't know? Did you guys see that BC just tried the fast imperial? Was that Cataphracт rush? Imperial Cataphract rush. Well, like, it kind of worked out because he debated it, right? Okay, so there is no way you can do that. And after that, he played against the guy who was the number 2 player from the Silver League, which is the, you know, that's a very honorable mention because if you got number 2 on Silver League, which is, let's say, it's not, it doesn't mean the players are Silver League or silver players. It means that the players who didn't made it to the top 16. So he played against a top 18 player, we can say that, because he got top 2 in that tournament, and he won. So Beastie won twice with the fast Imperial Rush, which is kind of crazy. There are many insane strat that you can play with the Macedonians, so yeah, it deserves to be S tier. Golden Horde. Golden Horde, I think it's still a really good civilization. It counters Japanese like there is no tomorrow. And it counters so many civilization. And when you get to castle and you get the reinforcement, the civilization is even more better. OOTD got several nerfs, and I have no idea why. Their getter rate got nerfed. The buff, the monk buff, prelate buff got nerfed as well. So I don't know why we are pushing OOTD down to the gutter even more. So like do we really need to do this? Like pushing down the civilization even more. Then we have Rus and Ayubid. Yeah, I agree. Both of them are really, really strong. Rus just became better because of the 2 TC style. Rus became insanely good. And Ayubid can do the fastest second TC in the game currently. So if you are playing Ayubid and you do the second TC, this civilization can do the best second TC. But that's not just the reason why I'm putting into them to A tier, but because there are several different playstyle. Like you can go monks into feudal, you can go reinforcement into the feudal growth, and etc. So there are a lot of playstyles with Ayubid, and also, as I mentioned, the faster second TC as well, which makes the civilization really nice. And also, like Rus just became this 2 TC. I kind of like what's happening with the civilization. So I'm just realizing that how I felt when I finished the EGCT tournament and the civilization picks and etc. And this is the most saddest thing, that I have to make a separate tier for Jin because how dog shit they are. I've been trying to play this civilization. On hybrid map, I had a success because I beat MSN DK on one of the hybrid map. So that the only one win we had on EGCTV tournament, Elit Classic, was me playing on a hybrid map. But on land map, they are just... I don't know what needs to be done. I have zero idea. I know that the mounted villagers get like horribly from gold sources. I don't know if stone as well, because the specialized pick doesn't get to the mounted villagers, which is kind of weird. All right, let's see. Let me check all the civilization. Do I agree with them? Yes, yes, yes. I think Tukluk is not bad, not horrible, so it doesn't... I didn't put the single civ into detail, which is kind of funny. Because I don't see the civilizations against each other to be really that bad. I'm crying if I see these civs to play it against me, right? But I don't see any civilization that's really horrible currently. And it's like I didn't put KT into A tier because I play KT. I'm not biased, right? I didn't put Delhi into A tier because I played Delhi. Yeah, I played both civilization, but I'm beating players left and right, or players beating me as well with, like, let's say KT, because KT is absolutely giga chunker. And I was thinking to have like a week only KT gameplay, or let's say 1 or 2 days of KT nonstop, like just spam KT to show that they are actually giga good, giga strong. Like I beaten many pro players as well with KT so far, and pro players are getting a little bit of taste of playing KT a lot, which is nice. That's amazing. All right, so this is my 1 versus 1 tier list after the HGCT Elite Classic, and how I felt the civilizations that played out.